Hey everyone, today we are starting in on the book of Titus. Now, just a little bit of background on the book of Titus. It's actually a letter written from the Apostle Paul to Titus, who at the time was on the island of Crete. Crete was an island off the coast of Greece in the middle of the Mediterranean, and it had many ports along its outskirts. So people from many different countries came to the island of Crete. The Apostle Paul saw the island of Crete as a strategic place because of all of these ports to begin a bunch of house churches. So Paul journeyed to Crete to set up these churches, but then he left Titus there in order to continue to manage and shepherd these house churches. Now, a little bit about the culture of Crete. It was known for being very immoral. In fact, I learned in studying that the Greeks had a word, kreizo, that meant to be a liar or to be a Cretan. It was infamous for immorality, the island of Crete. So that's where we find ourselves with a little bit of background as we dive into this letter. Paul is writing to Titus and Crete because he is concerned about false teachers in the church. They are people who say they're followers of Jesus, but their lives would say otherwise. At the end of chapter 1, Paul writes this about the false teachers, starting in verse 16. Such people claim they know God, but they deny him by the way they lived. They are detestable and disobedient, worthless for doing anything good. That is quite the harsh criticism of these false teachers. They actually continue to teach that circumcision is a requirement to be a follower of Jesus, which Paul specifically says has been fulfilled in the death and resurrection of Jesus. And these people, these false teachers, are false and bad witnesses to the way of Jesus. They may proclaim that they are followers of Jesus, but their actions show differently. And so they are portraying this false witness of what following Jesus is all about. And Paul sees the danger in this because it leads other people astray. So Paul is writing to Titus in order to give instruction on how to restore order in these churches and to instruct on ways of living according to the way of Jesus instead of living according to the way of the Cretan culture, which, remember, as we said, was very immoral. The first thing Paul tells Titus to do is to appoint elders in the church. He writes that they are to be faithful and to have a reputation of good and upstanding behavior and not being wild and rebellious. Paul writes that the elder must enjoy having guests in his home, and he must love what is good. He must live wisely and be just. He must live a devout and disciplined life. He must have a strong belief in the trustworthy message he was taught. Then he will be able to encourage others with wholesome teaching and show those who oppose it where they are wrong. Paul goes on to say that there are many rebellious people who are deceptive and by their words and actions are turning others away from the truth. These people, he says, must be stopped, and everyone needs to make a conscious effort to guard themselves against these lies that have been set up. Now, in the next couple days, we are going to continue to walk through this letter to Titus. They are good. The words contain good instructions and reminders for us today about the link between true faith in Jesus and how that should affect our actions and behavior. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.